Hey, what's happening, guys? Parker here. So today we're going to be taking out the old stock MOMO steering wheel and we're going to be putting in an aftermarket MOMO steering wheel. Now this is a 350 millimeter. I don't know if you can see that, but so it's a good deal. Well, it's a little bit smaller than the old one, so it should have some nice response. And this is a genuine MOMO steering wheel. It's used and it's a little rough, but honestly it's not as bad as I actually thought it would be. Again, this side is a little rough, but it beats my old steering wheel by a lot, so we're going to be swapping them out today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out both of the fuses for the airbag systems. And then one other thing we're going to do is we're going to pull a horn relay just so I don't bump it and scare the crap out of me. So it's that one right there, which is this guy. Okay, so first thing we got to do, we have a torque 30 bolt over here. We also have one right there. We got to pull both of those out, and that will allow the airbag to come out. Okay, so we've got my T30 and my ratchet. Now we're going to be over here. Try to get that to come out. Woo! That was in there real tight. I'm out of the car. I don't want to be in front of the airbag just in case for some reason it should come out. We don't want to really deal with that. So, and again from this side, we're going to come in here and try to break this one loose. Okay. Think we got that loose. Okay guys, so you kind of got to pull your airbag forward a little bit, and while you're pulling, you got to turn the screw. That puts a little bit of pressure on it, which I can't do with one hand, but so now the airbag is out. So next thing we got to do is we got to unplug. Looks like just this one switch right here, and then this whole system should be out and we should be good to go. So the airbag is out, so you got to push that green tab down, and then there's this yellow tab up top, and you got to push it towards the front where the air was pointing. And then this little tab right here, you got to push down, and then this should slide right off. So the next thing we got to do is take that bolt out, and then the whole steering wheel should just slide right out. So this is a 17 millimeter to get that off. So again, we're just gonna get this and try to pop it off. And again, I can't really get this, unfortunately, on camera because I really need two hands, but I'll let you know how I get. So that came off. It wasn't too bad to get that bolt off, but the steering wheel is in here tight. So I want to see if I can get it off without having to go get a steering wheel puller. Okay guys, so the next thing is I put this bolt back on here loosely, just so when I pull the steering wheel off, it won't smash me in the face. Then I got a rubber mallet, and I bang that side and that side a couple times pretty good. And then I just grab the steering wheel, and I just kind of went back and forth. I pull on one side and then the other side and wiggle it back and forth, and then it, yeah, sorry I can't really show you, but it popped right off. And now it's loose. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this the rest of the way off. Okay, so what you want to be really careful for is these wires right here. Okay, this is your clock spring, and we don't want to just pop that out because we can mess it up. So we're gonna disconnect that. That goes to your cruise control. And we're gonna be really careful to fish those wires through. Okay, now this steering wheel was in there really tight, but I guarantee you guys, if you just bang it on the side a couple times and really pull hard, you'll be able to get it out no problem. Okay, so the next thing that's got to come out is this clock spring, but we want to be really careful again because we don't want to damage it. Okay, so we have a Phillips bit, and there's a Phillips screw right under here. So we're just going to take that out. And that should allow us to pop off sorry, it's really hard to get a good angle on this. Okay, so now that we have that up, we gotta take out these 4 screws. Okay, and that'll let us pull the whole clock spring off. So the next thing we gotta do is we gotta unplug both of these. Now, if you pop this little cover off, you can unplug one of them, but not the airbag one. And there's actually another connector down under here we gotta get to for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop off my the dash, and there would be one thing you have to pop out there, but mine's already out. So if you give it a good pull, that'll pop off. And there's one screw right there we got to take out. Okay, so that gives us access to this. So we're going to unplug this wire right here, and that is what would go to our cruise control. And then we got to unplug this yellow one back there, and that is what is for the airbag. So for this one, there's a tab right here. You just gotta push that in, and then that should just come right out. And then for this one, we're gonna have to push this green tab up, and then push down on this tab, and it should come right out. So this plug was a huge pain to get out, but I found out that if you push this down, and then you get a pair of pliers, then you can pull that back pretty easy, and then that releases it, and then the back end just pops right out. So now that we got these two free, we got to disconnect them from there, and then pull them through, and then we'll disconnect this and pull them all the way out. For this one, we're just going to get a screwdriver in here and try to fold that up out of the way. And that lets us get these out of the way, and then we're just gonna push that back in. And this one just pulls straight down. And we can get these wires out there, and then we'll just pop that right back in place. So now we just gotta pull this wire straight out, but we're gonna have to finagle these connectors under here. We're gonna have to kind of wiggle them and try to squeeze them under there. And then they should, once we get them from under that plastic part, then we should be able to pull the whole thing out pretty easily. So this plastic piece you can unpop from that end and wiggle it out of the way. Okay guys, so we were able to wiggle this out. This is the full clock spring system. We're gonna be saving this in case we need it at a later date. If we decide to either sell, we could sell it, or if I want to put the old steering wheel back in for some reason. Okay, so we will get an airbag light on the cluster. So in order to do that, I believe we can put a resistor in here that will clear it up. So to keep the airbag light from coming on, we're gonna get a 3.3 ohm resistor, and we're gonna put it in the plug, and that should trick the computer into thinking that the airbag is still plugged up. Okay guys, so we got the resistor. We cut the ends off to make them a little shorter, and we bent it over just like that, so it'll fit right into the plug. So we have the resistor in there. In a little while we'll test it out to make sure that worked and it kept the airbag light away. And then after that we will put some tape around it just to make sure the resistor doesn't fall out or get banged up against anything. So now we're going to put this part back together. So we push this back down. We got to put that screw back in. And there's one over here on this side, right there. And then we'll get the bottom piece and put it on. And then there was one screw underneath that holds that in. Okay guys, now to make your horn work, since we pulled out that wire that went all the way along here for the clock spring, that also had the ground wire that makes your horn work. So what I made over here is I just got a wire. On one end we have a little male end, and then we have a female end over here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick this. So we have that connector right there, and it's the top to your left is what the ground wire is supposed to be for the horn. So we're gonna stick this in there, and then we're gonna run the rest of the wire up into here, and then the other end will connect to the horn, which will allow it to work. Okay guys, so we hooked the wire in that plug, in the top right plug, or I'm sorry, top left plug, and then we ran it up through here. It's this gray wire, kind of like the way the old one was ran. And the way to test it is if you touch it and you ground it out, the horn works. So that's how we know that we're good to go. So now we're going to put everything back together. So now that we got that back together, we're going to put in our 2 fuses. Now we're going to turn the car to the on position. And we have no airbag light, so the fuse worked. So we're going to tape the fuse up, and then we can go ahead and start putting everything back together. Okay, so we got all that put back together. So now we just got the steering wheel came already together. So we're just going to take out each one of these. Okay guys, so before you do any of this, it's also great to you want to make sure your steering wheel is straight. And then we have this piece right here. So this is basically your hub. Now it has a little top up there, so we're going to want to put this on whatever way makes it so it sits perfectly, so it's up and down. And this is also a genuine MOMO, the hub piece too. Okay, so I went ahead and popped the cover off this just to make my life a little easier. I'd plug that one in, but we can unplug that for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to run that wire through this same hole so it comes out through here, and then we're going to put this back on there just like so. So the original wire was actually connected to this piece that goes around the edge, which actually doesn't touch anything in this car, so it wasn't grounding out. So I just had to get a little wire and solder it onto the metal itself. I shaved it down to the bare metal. So now that should create a ground, which should allow the horn to work. And went ahead and got our bolt back in, just to demonstrate that the horn should work. So we should be good to hook everything back up. So we hooked both of those up to the back of the horn. Now it doesn't matter which way, which one you plug into which, because all it's doing is grounding it out. So we did that, and then, so that is now working. Okay, we're gonna slide our boot back on here real quick. There you go. That sits on there just like that. And then we're gonna hook both of those up, put that on, and then put our centerpiece back over, and put our 6 screws back in, and the install will be done. And then we're gonna plug our wire back in. That's going to sit just like that. Then we have an outer ring. that's going to go just like that, and then we'll put all 6 screws back in, and then the install will be done. Okay, so here is the finished product. Horn works. Steering wheel looks great. We'll start it up, just make sure everything seems good. Well, cool deal. That looks pretty awesome. This definitely was a project, mainly just getting all those wires and everything out of there, but finally got it in. Yeah, very happy with the way it I put the fuses back in. I put the obviously I put the horn relay back in, so everything is back together and good to go. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. More videos will be coming soon. Thanks.